What's up guys, it's Allie and I'm here with my Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 review. Since I'm pretty late in the game, I'm going to be doing a non-spoiler review in the front of this video, and then towards the end I'll talk about the spoilers, so it's kind of a combination of non-spoilers and spoiler review. Let's get into it. Okay, so starting off with the non-spoiler, don't worry, I'll have a spoiler alert sign when I get into the spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, this first section is for you, and even for those who have seen the movie. Alright, so my overall thoughts is that I really enjoyed it. I came out of the theater definitely having a good time. I went to go see it with a bunch of friends. There was probably about 12 of us. We took up a large portion of a row. It was really fun to sit and enjoy time with them while we watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I would say that most of us had high expectations. One of my friends, which I did a reaction to the Joker Injustice 2 gameplay with, he had very high expectations. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first film, is his #1 MCU film, so he was going in with very high expectations, and he was a little bit let down with the final product that was given to him. And I would say I was too. I didn't have as high expectations as he did, because from what I had heard before through reviews and also through ratings, that it really was not as good as the first one, but that's to be expected with most sequels. Although I will say I was pleasantly surprised with a lot of things, and I would say that I reserved judgment from what I heard until I saw the film, but I was actually kind of surprised that people were saying the things about it that I felt like actually weren't there. Such as the whole story and plot thing being all chopped up and messy. Was it a little bit messy? Yeah, but I feel like people exaggerated that a little bit. So I felt like that wasn't as bad. Another thing is that it's just better than I thought it was going to be. And my last thing for the non-spoilers is that I thought I was talking to my friends at the end of the movie, what would be my Rotten Tomatoes score for this, and I think I would probably give it a 70%. So I would not go as high as 81, which is what it's at now. I don't think it deserves that, but I do believe that it is definitely fresh. It's just not as great as the first one, but it did crush box office numbers, which is great. It's good to know that the fatigue that people have been seemingly saying is gonna happen, fatigue from comic book movies, isn't there, at least not with Marvel's movies yet, which is good to know. Now let's get into the spoilers. So one of the spoilers that I was kind of surprised with, that there really is no tie-in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, it makes references to it a little bit, but there really is no tie-in as what's going to be happening with Infinity War, other than maybe the one of the end credit scenes with the introduction of Adam Warlock. You don't see him. The Sovereign Priestess Lady Aisha just mentions that I've made a more awesome Sovereign member, and his name will be Adam. And we all know that that's going to be Adam Warlock. He's the centerpiece of the Infinity War storyline, but from what I've heard so far, he isn't going to be in it, which is like, what? But, yeah, he's not going to be in it from what I hear. I'm hoping that that's not true, and that he is in it at least at the end, and he's in it major for the second part, because if they leave him out, they're leaving out a lot of good storylines. I don't want to spoil it, but if you've ever read the Infinity War comic book, you know that Adam Warlock he's literally on the center of the cover. He is the centerpiece of that storyline. He is a part of one of the Infinity Stone gem things, and so he's just a big part of it, and it just seems like really dumb to not have him in it anyways. But so that's one of the spoilers, is that it just doesn't really tie into the Marvel Universe at all, which I suppose that's okay for newcomers, but for those of us that are like getting really hyped for Avengers Infinity War, I was kind of disappointed with that. Another thing is that I was really surprised that Ego the Living Planet, Peter Quill's dad, is actually the villain in this film. He is the bad guy. He wants to take over the world, you know, typical villain trope. But anyways, he's the bad guy. I was not expecting that. Another thing is Baby Groot was actually a lot better than I thought he was gonna be. See, when I was watching the trailers, I was like, man, I'm gonna get tired of this character as Baby Groot real fast. He was like screaming and taking down some guy, and I'm like, that's just not Groot to me. And but he actually overcame it in the from the trailer to the movie, and you never can base your thoughts on a movie on a 2-minute trailer. So when I went into the movie, I had quite low expectations for liking Baby Groot, but I ended up really liking him. And when he turns into teenager Groot in the end credit scene, that was just fabulous, absolute gold, and I'm hoping he's teenager Groot in Avengers Infinity War. Another thing is that I heard a lot of complaints about there being too many jokes, and I don't think there was too many jokes. I think maybe jokes were just carried out too long and maybe put in the wrong place sometimes. So, and also there was like this forced laughter that Drax would do, and I can't really remember if he did it in the first one. If he did not do it as much as he has done it in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He does so much forced laughter in this movie that it's almost just like, okay, can you just let me laugh on myself? You know, it's almost like the canned laughter thing that sitcoms do. I'm just not a fan of that. So when he kept doing that, it was like first time, second time it was okay, but then like by the time he was getting to the 5th, 6th time he was doing it, it's just like stop. Just stop doing that. And another thing is just I really do want to say that the end credit scenes were probably the most favorite part for me of this movie. There's a lot of good character development in this film, and I like that, especially with Gamora and Nebula, which is really great because it's setting up Thanos and him being the big bad in Avengers Infinity War. That's, you know, who we're going to be getting. And so it's really cool to get more of a setup and kind of more horror story behind who he is. So that was really cool to see. And then my final thoughts is that I just really enjoyed this movie. Could it have been better? Yes, I think it could have been better. I think they could have left out some things, such as the Sovereign, which I guess they're just a plot point to set up Adam Warlock. That's just how it seemed for me. And the batteries, which technically they could have lived without those batteries. But the best part of this film was definitely the Ravagers and Yondu. He is amazing in this film. But other than that, I was kind of a little bit let down. But I still would give this movie a B+. It's still good, it's still watchable. I would still suggest you to watch it, especially if you're a huge Marvel fan and a huge fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Catch you guys next time. Bye!